Come moving through these Ubers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Bigger the bag, bigger the beef, bigger the problem, bigger the be one of them all in the same. Broke at the end of the month, flow Joe, kill mo, run it up, keep clean. Never let them touch, fits like temper tantrums. Girl, come back that up, all in the club, and bring all your girlfriends. Girl hopping up about a Pearl 6 Louis speed bag glued to her wrist. She was getting paid, she ain't think a thing, but she was thinking slay. We blade thicker than a snicker bag. Talking about she don't come with no baggage. All in her bag, I probably should. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow Joe chasing a check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis really running the best. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Car moving through these Hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the New York Giants and the Houston Texans. After 2 weeks on the road, they're finally ready for the home opener in Houston. Standing by on the call, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the New York Giants. Hi again, everyone, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Texan ball club entering play here. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Giants, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. And they will be led out by their 6'3" quarterback.
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Throwing now, Elway on first down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The numbers for Jackson in last week's game, 19 carries, 80 yards.
And well-liked by his teammates. In fact, I got on good authority, even though I'm not an investigative reporter, that in their team meeting this week, the offensive line stood up and said, Coach, we've got to have better yardage for this guy. He's number 9 in the league. He's got to be in the top 3 before the season's over. Let's run the ball.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Defensively, here are the starters for Houston. They are number 2 in the NFL against the run right now, Charles.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if they can get to him.
All right, here we go. Green, 39!
Now it's Jackson. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And incomplete here on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And the Giants send out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And what I enjoyed watching this week when we had a chance to watch them at practice, the easy camaraderie that he has with his offense.
A lot of respect.
A lot of respect, and frankly, I thought it spilled over to the defense. The defensive guys were coming over and teasing and joking with him. You can tell they respect the heck out of him and really want to play well for him.
They go play action here on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. That's called setting the tone right away.
It certainly is, and it lets you know just how important communication is amongst the offensive line. They talk about it all the time, knowing each other's moves. You've got to be coordinated and in sync. Otherwise, your quarterback gets hit.
Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. Here's the now 30-year-old running back, LaShawn McCoy. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
I love watching Todd Gurley play because I think back to when he got drafted and so many people question taking it back that high. Well, you see exactly why. His ability to run, catch, and lead, it's a heck of a combination, and he leads the Rams.
All right, here we go. Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Dumps it off to Gurley. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice gain. Give him 8 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? take whatever you want underneath by all means.
The Texans send the punter out, standing just outside his own goal line. Fielded just inside the 20. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. On first down, Elway. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now running right through it. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They got to feel pretty good about that one.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position. Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing into too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this will remain a scoreless game.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And now out comes Houston. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And that's incomplete. And we look now at the defense for the Giants.
Last year's #1 overall pick comes off the edge for this defense. Slowed a bit by injuries as a rookie. Still had 7 sacks in 11 games and showed pass rush ability that makes teams take notice because not only can he rush off the edge, he can kick inside in their nickel or sub packages and rush over the guards and create a little bit of havoc for quarterbacks trying to see upfield.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
We'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one. Force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now Gostkowski will come on to try a field goal from the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And Gostkowski's kick is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The New York set to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play.
Next, the receivers help spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On the ground, this is Jackson. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go.
Play action. It's Elway. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Trey Burton, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
On the run, this is Jackson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here we go.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Elway. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. They'll run it with Jackson. Oh, nice move. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Now that play was doomed right from the start.
He just about ran into every defender.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, enough Texans start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He sets to fire deep into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll set up to throw. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39, green.
He'll look to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Reed. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. So just a lone field goal in this first quarter of play. The Texans have the early lead. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up over the 20 to the 21-yard line. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 20. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and it's a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Right back to him on first down. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, Elway. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. First target, first catch, and a first down.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
3-19.
Play action, Elway. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
To at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Set. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Set. Green.
From midfield, Elway. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. And the Bills have taken the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out.
Here we go.
On play action, they'll throw. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he rifles one incomplete.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll drop to throw. And that will be incomplete as well.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
The Texans send the punter out, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is fielded at the 27. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so because the run has been very effective for them.
So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and it'll be third down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Hurry up, here we go.
Elway now looking to throw on third. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Well, the pretty move couldn't create much space. Down just beyond the 35. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A pickup of 24 on the third down conversion. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Going to drop this off to McCoy, complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it'll be a second down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still, a lot of guys to account for.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Green 39! Green 39!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He finds Quick. And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On second down, it's McCoy. Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
Partner, you know how often we hear about the red zone, right? From the 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And a lot of times you talk about establishing the ground game, probably something they need to do more of here losing in the second quarter.
When you're riding your best horse, you've got to lather him up. The best running backs I've ever talked to, they've all said the exact same thing to me. I'll even break a good sweat until I get to 20 carries.
You're full of good wisdom. Let's see if they can get him into the game more now. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Elway. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On third down, that's Jackson. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. On first and 10, Elway. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And a nice spin into some open field. 23 yards on the play.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On first, they'll throw with Elway. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, still all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, Elway. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Now let's go. Blue line.
Now it's Elway. Now they go screen. It's complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. The Giants on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This will be third and forever. Elway looking to pass again. To the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series for those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was playing. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, not much happening on the scoreboard. Just a lone field goal in that first half. For the call of the second half, maybe we can get a touchdown, fellas. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Caught on the right side, Reed. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They go play action here on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Give him 6 on the run. They're going to be faced now with a 3rd and 12.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Now let's go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They've been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it'll be Dorsett. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Here we go now.
Now Elway on 3rd and long. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. They'll look to set up his blockers. And now out comes Houston. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
They'll try and get the running game going with McCoy. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. Charles, I think sometimes maybe we take LaShawn McCoy for granted. Been in the league since 2009. He's played 12 or more games every season as a running back. 30 years old this year. What do you see for his future?
I still see a very bright future for him, and you're exactly right. We do kind of take him for granted. Remember, he was with Philadelphia. Then he goes to Buffalo. Buffalo goes through the playoff drought before last season. And the Eagles, they win a Super Bowl without him. So, yeah, we forget just how special he is. But I do think with his running style, he's got many more seasons left. Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially that first half. Yeah,
and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10.
Set, 3-19.
Now a first down carry here for McCoy. And he loses the football a second time. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They'll look to throw. Looking for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it. And in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game.
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. In for the score. And the Texans will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Now Steven Gostkowski on for the extra point. Gostkowski now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone. And
I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Well, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
And they hand it off to Dorsett. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Here we go.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Let's go. Green.
Now they'll throw it with Elway. That's complete to Sharp. And he'll go down at the 28. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
Holding offense.
So they will tread backward on the holding penalty.
And I know that they're going to get coached up and they'll get yelled at a little bit, but let's face it, it is hard not to do at the speed and pace that they play.
Now Elway to throw, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Well, distance was never the question there, but he gets a friendly bounce to carom that thing through the uprights.
Yeah, and when you're trying to hit from 50-plus, you got to expect the ball's going to slide one way or the other. So he's pretty fortunate there that he's able to bank this one in.
And here comes the Texans now. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
All right, here we go.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Reed. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
A give to McCoy. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
We are seeing two really confident defenses imposing their will on these offenses in this game.
Yeah, absolutely, going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This will be a tough 3rd and 18.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the old pass completion for no gain, not something you want to call up out of the playbook too often.
Yeah, most offensive coordinators don't have that on their play sheet, so they've got to go back and scramble after this one. But right now, with what they're telling receivers about making sure you take care of the ball in open field, sometimes the fighting for extra yardage doesn't come as a result. That and good tackling can lead to no yards gained.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
3-19!
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Houston, it's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25.
All right, here we go. 3-19!
Elway to throw on 2nd. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30.
On 2nd down, Elway. And incomplete on the deep ball.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Giants on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 5. Elway will throw. And able to find Dorsett. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
Now Elway on first down. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Now let's go.
Again, it's Elway. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete.
Here we go now. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On 3rd down, Elway. They set up the screen to Dorsett. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40.
Here we go now. Blue landed. Blue landed.
Throwing again, it's Elway. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Elway. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And the Texans set to come onto the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go.
Here we go now.
On 3rd down, it's McCoy. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
The Texans send the punter out. He's been terrific so far. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The New York set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. At After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Here we go now. 3-19.
2nd and 10. Elway again. And he comes back with one complete. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue landing.
On 2nd down, Elway. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
Throwing now, Elway on 1st down. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. A gain of 39 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
To throw is Elway. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Now let's go.
Now it's Elway. And this is going to be incomplete.
But that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the 1st down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
Set. 3-19.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Encroachment, defense.
So they jumped on the left side of that line.
And you know when you're at the end spot,
Still 3rd down.
you are like in the starting blocks, waiting for the pistol to fire and go, and he jumped a little bit too early.
Even after the penalty, still a full 7 yards to go on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Looking to throw. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. They got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Trying to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too, and they got one.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
And New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that'll help him at contract time. You could have kicked that one for him.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
bashed
that.
it.
Super toe.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
2nd and 10, Elway. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage on the play. Back at his own 19-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
Out of the gun, Elway. Going up top. So they took a shot there on 3rd down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
And now out comes Houston. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to...
And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Myles Garrett in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Texans send the punter out as he's on here to punt it away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
On first down, Elway. And this one caught along the sideline, but they say already out of bounds. And the throw didn't give him a chance to turn it upfield, and that brings up second down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
From the shotgun, Elway. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
On first, they'll throw with Elway. Time for a break. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to throw. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
They'll look to throw. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. He's back to throw. Oh, no, lost the football. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. He'll look to throw. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. Back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Texans take over an excellent field position.
No surprise. They try to throw the ball on 4th down, but it gets batted down. They don't pick it up.
Well, a little football 101. When you're going toward that quarterback, you see he's going to start to throw. Get your hands up,
Get your hands up, affect the play, and then everyone get your hands out. When the ball gets to the receiver, moment of truth, knock it away.
Elsewhere, they're into the 4th at FedEx Field. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it with McCoy. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
Now let's go.
Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee. So with that knee, 3 weeks in the books, and they creep above 500 now at 2-1.
You know, I played with a guy once after taking a knee at the end of the game, and he came in and grabbed the equipment manager and said, make sure you wash that spot, special, because I just took a knee for a win. That tells you how much guys enjoy that, because getting a win, no one takes it for granted.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Houston, they get back in the win column as they move to 2-1 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll try to make amends next week as they host the New Orleans Saints. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.